about yourself.
I'm Javante. I'm originate from Houston, Texas, fighting out of Houston. Really background is just a former athlete, used to be a football track, kind of my little thing. Had a little bit of experience boxing and wrestling kind of growing up. Nothing too crazy, but, you know, just excited, you know what I'm saying? Getting ready to fight soon.
Hell yeah. How'd you get into fighting?
Been in Mason City for about 3 years now. Done came to a couple Darius's fight, done watched them, and then finally got to train underneath them, and finally just got interested in fighting. And just being able to watch and just being able to kind of get around it. It's different than football. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of vibe, different type of everything. So just getting into that, and yeah, just end up getting into fighting basically now.
You think Darius is training you well? How's he doing?
And I think I ain't gonna lie, he's definitely training me pretty good. He's definitely one of those guys that just doesn't really care how I feel. Just, hey, bro, if you go get in line, get in line. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of
Oh
how I
yeah.
like being trained and how I kind of like being coached. Just no games being played. Just, hey, we show up, we here to work, and that's it. Nothing else.
That's
And I
really all
like
you
them.
can
So,
do.
and that's what I pretty much I like about working with him. You know what I'm saying? The one-on-ones and everything, and then working with everybody else just been cool too. So, good work.
Somebody gives you an out, then you might take it. One day you feel tired or you're drained. You can't really have somebody that's not going to back you up and push you harder than you're going to push yourself.
Facts.
So, what have you been training mostly? Like, what kind of fighting
Been training
skills?
a lot of stand up, and a lot of ground game for sure. Got my hands in a little bit of jiu-jitsu the other day, but nothing too crazy. But really been trying to just work on my boxing, my stand up, because that's just where I feel like I'm going to be strong at. And takedown defense is probably one of my better things too. Is just because I just got really good base, really good strength there. But we'll just see how things go. The more I keep training, we got 2 weeks left, so you know what I'm saying, ready to
You
get
think
at
you're
it.
pretty good on the ground then?
I think I'm pretty good on the ground. I think I'm pretty good not even being taken to the ground because I'm just that strong and I'm really fast. So it's kind of hard to kind of just shoot at me pretty free. So I think I kind of
So
got that
you're pretty confident that you can take him down then, huh?
for sure.
Fight him.
I mean, if we not trying to brag, but I got some ridiculous amount of strength. So we'll let my strength carry and see how that goes.
You think it's going to be a knockout, or you think that you're going to have some grappling, take him to the ground? What do you think's going to happen?
I don't plan on having no grappling and taking it to the ground just because I don't. Ain't no point even getting that far. I plan on standing up and fighting the whole time. Hopefully, if we trying to really get active, I plan on standing up and fighting the whole time and not trying to fight past the first round.
How many fights have you had in the past?
I haven't had any fights like in like a amateur like closed setting, but I've had a bunch of like fights growing up with like kids and like growing up throughout like schools, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't like count those as actual fights, but I basically had a bunch of those before then. But I don't really say like those are fights for like official fights. You know what I'm saying?
So, and you said you were in football and a bunch of other stuff. Have you been? How long have you been weightlifting then for?
Man, I think I've been weightlifting since I was about I want to say about 11, 12. But then I got serious when I started 5 years ago in college. When I started 5 years ago, I got real serious. Got into a lot of strength conditioning, a lot of personal training. So I really just took off. And now, kind of like after finishing up my senior year of college, I just kind of just retained all the strength, and I just been kind of just training ever since. So just staying in shape, waiting for a phone call.
You following any specific plan, or you like kind of doing your own weightlifting thing and how you eat, and or you just made your own plan to follow, or
Well, I have people who I sit down with, like professors and like other type of coordinators who like help me program and do design also. But I can pretty much make pretty much a lot of the stuff myself. But I do have other people to like bounce the ideas off of and like get stuff up if I feel like I'm not good in a certain area. But that's if I need to.
what areas do you think you have to improve in?
For if we talk about specifically training, I just think just not overboarding it. You know what I'm saying? Not doing too much for me because I feel like I'm one of those guys that will just do too much and just call it a day. And I probably over program for someone who doesn't need to get over programmed. And that's probably my biggest thing is not learning to cut back. So that's my thing where I'm growing in right now.
Then the next day you're too drained to go back, huh?
Exactly.
Michael,
Yes,
you
sir.
want to share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, Michael Reed, from Burlington, Iowa. Wrestled from fifth grade to 12th grade. Made it to state my freshman year. Uh, I've been training in boxing. Of course, I got a wrestling background, jiu-jitsu. I train out of my gym with my brothers and my teammates in Britt, Iowa, Lions of Judah. Been having a really good training camp. Been lifting heavy. Uh, like I said, I'm just ready to fight. and yeah, it's going to be a good fight. I'm going to respect his strength. I know he's a big power lifter. I know he said he had fights as a kid, but that's not in the cage. A lot of first time fighters, I will say from my instance, there's a lot of nerves fighting in front of people. And I'm going on my fifth fight. And I will say that I'm going to use my experience mostly against him. And he can be confident. Uh, I'll give him that. But we'll see what happens come January 25th.
So you think you're more confident on the ground grappling or striking like he wants to stay?
I'm confident in both, but like I said, my first fight ended in a 17-second knockout. He, my first opponent was kind of built like him, all muscle, and he thought he was going to strike with me, and I knocked him out in 17 seconds. So, and I'm not saying Tay is Daniel Lichtenberg, but I respect Tay, and we'll just see what happens January 25th.
It's awesome. It's awesome that you guys can still have a respect for each other, even knowing you're about to face each other in a cage. You
Yes,
guys
sir.
are pretty much walking around at weight then, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
So you don't have to do much to cut or nothing like that.
I
not
think I got
much.
about 2 pounds to cut, but nothing crazy.
You think it's mostly water, or
Yeah.
is there like any mistakes you made in your last fight that you're gonna try to correct this time, or
Yeah, I my last fight I went up against a very veteran opponent, Angel. He works at the car dealership in Mason, trains under Mike Estes. It, the fight went all the way, all 3 rounds. With a minute left, he caught me. I've never had a fight uh, go into the third round, and I was dog tired. I really didn't have a very good training camp. Uh, and he just, I'm not going to make any excuses. He caught me and knocked me out, but uh, I am going to learn from that experience. And if getting knocked out is the worst thing that could happen in a fight game, so be it. I ain't scared, and I'm just ready to brawl.
you think it was an issue of cardio, or
Yeah,
you think
cardio.
you just got worn down?
My cardio wasn't very good last fight, but I'm working on that, running every day.
What about you, Tay? You've been working on your cardio and
Yeah,
making
I
sure
used to
you
be
do gas
I
tanks
used to be a
full.
former sprinter, so I kind of cardio has always been my thing. I was a former sprinter. I always sprint every day, so it's
Oh,
not.
really? You haven't
Yeah,
stopped running? Nothing?
nah, yeah, that's just another day in the book for me.
That's awesome. Michael, you said you wanted to say something on here. You got anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I feel like our first time sitting down, Tay said that you were gonna end it in round one. I'm
That's still
hoping
the
that
plan.
I love his confidence, but just remember, experience is up there in the fight game, so don't get too cocky. That's all I got to say.
What makes you think that you could take him in the first round? You think it's going to be a real quick one?
I mean, it's just not even like me just being cocky or anything. I watch the tape, and I'm training constantly every day, and I got good people pouring into me, and I think I got a good game plan to make it happen in the first round. So just gonna stick to the game plan and just stay at it, and we'll see how it goes.
Is there anything you've been working on specifically? Like I forget if you said you fought before. I think it was you said just as a kid and shit. But is there
Yeah, I
anything
did
like?
a little bit of boxing younger, and then street fights are street fights. I got
Mhm.
a bunch of street fights under my belt from for a five ever, but we don't really brag or talk about street fights. It's nothing compared to what you can do in the cage at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm just saying I'm excited to just get in the cage and get after it because I just know what I've been training and what I've been doing is go just carry over at the end of the day. So I'm not really too worried.
Was there anything in those street fights that like taught you or boxing as a kid that has taught you and that you're going to utilize now? You think?
I mean, street fighting taught me how to take a punch at the end of the day. So there's no reason why I can't get in the ring and do the same thing. It's another fight for me. Just another day, another day of life, basically. From where I'm from, a fight is just another day for me.
Hmm. Michael, how long do you think it's going to last? You said
I
it's gonna go past first round at least.
I'm predicting second round, and I'm gonna wear him out and take it to the ground, and we'll see. But January 25th is coming up fast, and I can't wait. I got a lot of doubters to prove wrong, and that's just fueling me even more.
Doesn't sound like either one of you doubt yourselves. You're pretty confident. I like that.
Oh yeah,
It's good talking to you guys.
yes
Jeff.
sir. Good talking to you.